The Bible Story, Read Aloud for Kids and Adults, Part 1. This content was taken from the Holy Bible and a reference page is added at the end. God created the earth. At first, it was empty and dark with water. But God said, "Let there be light," and light appeared. He called the light day, and he called the darkness night. This became the first day. On the second day, God created the sky, known in the Bible as the firmament. This divided the earth into an upper area and a lower area. The upper space is known as heaven, and the lower space is known as the earth. On the third day, God gathered the waters that were on the earth into different areas. This allowed dry land to appear throughout. On this day, God also created grass, herbs, and trees. On the fourth day, God made the sun, moon, and stars appear in the sky. On the fifth day, God created the sea animals and all the flying animals. On the sixth day, God created the land animals. On that same day, he created the first man and called him Adam. Adam's first job was to name all of the animals. On the seventh day, God rested from all the work he had done. God was happy and pleased with his beautiful creation. But God knew that although everything was beautiful, Adam was lonely. God therefore created Eve, the first woman, to be Adam's friend and helper. Adam and Eve lived together in a beautiful garden called the Garden of Eden. Although the Garden of Eden was beautiful and filled with many beautiful trees, God warned Adam and Eve to not eat any fruit from the tree of knowledge. But one day, Eve was walking near that tree, and a serpent appeared and began to speak to her. The serpent advised her to eat fruit from the tree of knowledge, and she did. That same day, Eve brought the fruit home, and Adam ate the fruit as well. Adam and Eve disobeyed God by doing this. After they ate the fruit, their minds changed, and they were no longer the same. Soon after, God called out to them. When they heard God's voice, they hid themselves. But God already knew they had eaten the fruit, so he therefore punished Adam, Eve, and the serpent. Adam and Eve were kicked out of the garden and had to live in a part of the land where Adam had to do labor to make the food grow. Eve had to experience much pain when delivering children, and the serpent was now cursed to crawl on his belly. Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Abel. One day, Cain and Abel brought offerings to God. Cain was a farmer, and Abel was a shepherd. Abel brought the best offering to God, but Cain's offering was not his best. Therefore, Abel's offering was accepted and respected by God, but Cain's wasn't. Cain became jealous and upset with Abel because of this. And when their parents were not around, Cain slew his brother. God punished Cain and removed him from his presence forever. Cain was driven far, far, far away from his parents into a land of nowhere. After losing Abel, God blessed Adam and Eve with another son, whose name was Seth. Seth grew to become a godly man, and he had a desire to serve God. Adam and Eve had many children after that, for God had told them to multiply in the earth. But when the earth became populated, God looked from heaven and saw much evilness and violence. God became very upset that he had made mankind and said to himself that he would remove that generation from the earth. God showed his grace toward a man named Noah and his family. Noah was a descendant of Seth, and God thought of Noah as a perfect man. He spoke to Noah and told him that he will destroy the earth, but he will save Noah and his family. God gave Noah instructions to build an ark. Noah listened to God and built the ark. Many people laughed at him. However, this did not stop him. When the ark was finished, Noah brought his family and two of every animal, male and female, into the ark. Once they were in, God locked the doors so that no one else could enter. Noah and his family were in the ark for 7 days with all of the animals. On the seventh day, God sent heavy rain. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights without stopping, creating the biggest flood the world has ever seen. The flood removed that entire generation from the earth. It washed everything and everyone away, except for all who were on the ark. Once the rain stopped and the water evaporated, Noah, his family, and the animals came out of the ark and restarted their lives. God promised Noah that he will never destroy all of mankind and creatures from the earth again with water. God put a rainbow in the sky and said that it was a sign reminding the world of his promise.